Hey, y'all, welcome to another episode of the Marketing Natives. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about how to drive more traffic for your Shopify store. Whether you're a veteran or you're just starting out on Shopify, the number one thing you have to do is to continue to grow. And to grow, you need traffic. So, in today's episode, we're going to be talking about how to drive more traffic. What happens when you drive more traffic? We're going to be talking about the one platform that you must be doing that one of our clients wasn't doing and missed out on $5,000 per week because she wasn't doing it, and how you can implement it today for very, very cheap. And a couple of apps that we would recommend so that you can continue to reach more people and get all those who are eventually, or all those who would have left your website, and getting those people back. So, all this and more on how to sell more on your Shopify store. Take a listen.
This is the Marketing Natives, providing actionable ways to grow, improve, and succeed in your business. And now, your hosts, Christian and Aaron.
All right, how to sell more on your Shopify store. We're going to start with website speed. Now, imagine this. Imagine you go to a Shopify store and let's say you click it from an ad and you're on, let's say maybe Instagram. You click on it. It takes 1 full second for you to even see the logo. Let's just say that. And then another second for it to load that big hero image. And then you starts to scroll, right? But it won't scroll because the products are still uploading to your phone or downloading to your phone. And it takes a full 3 seconds for that website to fully load for you to actually be able to see products. Like, how many people do you think are going to stay that long?
That's a good question.
Not very long, right? I mean, it depends. I mean, the data, depending on, I guess, how interested you are in that product and you actually want to see it, and obviously depends on their, like the speed of the phone, right? Whatever network they're on, or if they're on Wi-Fi, like obviously it's going to be different for each customer. So that's why it's always important to, I think, pay attention to website speed, because different people have different networks that they're using. Some people are using Wi-Fi, some people are using LTE, some people are potentially using Edge. Can you imagine? So that's why it's always important to pay attention to website speed, and also testing website speed on mobile phones and testing website speed on computers, tablets, and then different networks, Wi-Fi, AT&T's network, T-Mobile's network, etc. Because website speed is going to determine how quickly can someone buy from your store once they land on it, and how easy it is for them to sort of navigate from page to page and still keep interest, right, while they're waiting for things to load on your website.
Right. Well, and I think, you give the example of 3 seconds is like, that's an okay, I guess, speed. Like some websites are 5, 6, 7 seconds. And I think um, like the way that like the way that Google has said that your site speed affects sales is that for every 1 second that it goes above 3, so let's just say it's 4, you lose potentially 10% of your business for e-commerce because it's just another second that somebody has to leave. So there's some things like what you were mentioning that you have your network that you can't really have anything to do with. That's just that person. But if your site loads on top of that, it could be 5, 6, 7 seconds, and you've lost pretty much everybody at that point because that's just to go to one page. Imagine like clicking on the product, going forward, whatever else. So yeah, the focus on the site, and you can actually see this like a ton of sites that don't have really that much at all, but do better performance wise just because they have a faster loading site and more people can get to the product. So you've got to have a fast website. And a good place to check that is like that, what is it, GT metrics or whatever? Like that's a good free source for you to kind of see your speed, and it'll give you a grading scale to tell you like, okay, you could improve this, or here's where you're at, here's where you're starting at, and it'll give you an idea of like how long it takes to load.
Well, nowadays, I mean, Shopify just added that new feature where it actually tells you
Oh yeah,
like a
yeah.
little speed score.
I don't believe that thing though. It's like
And
I bought a new template with like nothing on it, and it still says like 30 or something like that out of 100, which is like there's nothing on the site. So I don't know if I believe that, but Yeah, it is cool to kind of see or have it like right there though.
I mean, I think it's literally They're using Google's technology. I think they're using Lighthouse.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to run that. So it's pretty reliable.
Dang. Well, I don't know how Shopify slows it down that much, but regardless, it's good to kind of test yourself across, um, I guess different areas, GT or G2 metrics or whatever, or the one inside of Shopify and see which site is faster. And that's the point is you want to make sure that your site is going quickly.
Hmm.
All right. And then I think the next main thing to talk about is the line outside of the restaurant, and this has nothing to do with a restaurant, obviously this is a Shopify store, but the line outside the restaurant or the Yelp reviews or anything like that, those are all just examples of social proof. And when you have good social proof, it actually costs you less to reach more people because there are more people telling others around you about you. So for example, you could get like online, what's good if you're talking about like online advertising or anything like that, it could be the likes or comments or shares, so it builds social proof. But it could also be the social proof on your site. So could be the reviews. Like some websites have product reviews, and you could have, oh, this product has been purchased, 100 times, and there's 5-star rating. Like that's going to add quote unquote social proof to lower the cost of, or like, I guess the amount of hurdles that somebody has to go through if they're choosing your product versus somebody else. So if I was about to buy I don't know, a new hat from somebody from like Branded Bills or whatever that we've bought hats before, and they've sold 6,000 products and they're all 5-star reviews, I'm gonna buy a hat from them versus like somebody who has nothing and it looks the exact same, but there's no proven model. So I think social proof has so much more of um, a play or like so much more of an effect on what we purchase without us even noticing it too.
I mean, yeah, I think that goes back to I'm thinking back in high school, the things that I would buy clothes wise, right?
Hmm.
The North Face stuff, the Nike, the Adidas. The only reason why we would buy those brands is because your peers were using those brands, right?
Hmm.
I actually think about like the iPod, for example. Literally everyone in my school had an iPad, or not an iPad, an iPod,
Hmm.
right? Either the Nano or like the full screen one or whatever.
Hmm.
Nobody had Zunes. Maybe there was one weird kid who had a Zune,
Yeah.
but everyone had an iPod. And I think that's part of the social proof is like you seeing the peers around you, right, using these products. And I think
Hmm.
on a regular basis, yeah, we see this everywhere. Right? You're using a MacBook. It's like, oh, maybe I need to use a MacBook too, right?
Hmm.
You're wearing a
There's a Branded Bills hat.
okay Brandon Bill's hat.
Yeah.
Then okay, maybe I need to check out Brandon Bill's.
Technically,
Like,
it's Richardson, which is a really good. That's probably your hat's probably Richardson too. But
yeah, they're very popular. So yeah, it's a way to incorporate that aspect, that we use and see every day,
hmm,
into your website. And there's different apps too. Like, is it called Social Proof? I feel like there's an app
yeah,
that
yeah, hmm,
that just pops up in the little corner. So and so from
yeah,
Saginaw, Kentucky, just purchased, this iPhone case, and you're like, oh, okay, there's actually people buying this case.
hmm,
And I feel like I do that whenever I'm looking at, especially paid advertising on Instagram. I
hmm,
feel like I have a pretty good um targeting. Like people are targeting me really really well with their, because like I'm constantly saving ads that are being targeted to me
hmm,
for a number of different things. The other day there was these um like sandals or flip flops or whatever,
hmm,
slides actually, and the brand I didn't recognize, but the video they looked really comfy, and they were
hmm.
like showing like how like cushiony and bouncy they were, and all
Right.
this stuff. They're like literally bouncing balls off of this like sandal, and I was like, oh wow, like that looks pretty cool.
My feet
Like,
would be happy.
yeah, my food was like, oh yeah, amazing. And they're like, oh, these are normally $50, they're 38 or whatever. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, I'm looking at this website, and it just looks like one of those drop shipping, like they
Hmm.
bought these for, I don't know, $1 from China,
Right.
and like they're just selling to me for $30. And I'm like, ugh, that's just like, to me it didn't have, yeah, that social proof that
Right.
like, okay, would my friends buy this? Are my friends even buying this kind of stuff?
Hmm.
And it makes it feel like cheaper, I guess,
Yeah.
right? Because that's the first thought that came to my mind, was like, the brand looks kind of iffy. And then there's really no social proof. There's no one that I follow, I guess, like that I've seen
How many
talk
followers
about
did they have on
this or like
Instagram?
I don't know. I didn't check that. I just
Okay.
went from the ad straight to
The website.
the website. Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think having that social proof on the website. I don't even remember seeing social proof on the website, like either testimonials or I think video testimonials would have been
Oh yeah.
really good. Or in a position like that, I think what would have probably sold me on it, maybe um, like a social feed of people using the hashtag, like whatever the name of the sandal was,
Yeah.
and just seeing other people using the product or posting about the
Yeah.
product on Instagram, like real life people using the product. That might have been like, okay, they're legit. People are actually buying this.
Hmm.
They actually have a following. It's not just like a was it fly by night,
Yeah.
type company that just popped up just to make a buck out of this $1 sandal, and
Right. They spent a bunch of money on the video, but didn't focus on anything else.
right, right,
So I'm guessing they're getting some sales, but they're not getting as many as what they could have, or they're
right,
spending a lot more because you would have been one of those purchasers. Because even now, if I would say like if they wasted money on you remarketing to you, they still probably wouldn't get you unless they had a bunch of like carousel of like testimonial videos, like Kevin and Jill and everybody else. We're all super happy. So yeah, I think social proof it could be a make or break, but it definitely will help you sell more online. And then you can see the opposite effect, the one that you gave, where if you don't have social proof, it almost deters you away versus, hey, if you had it, you would have told me about it and we would have been both wearing the sandals or something.
hmm
Hey, local business owners, if you're ready to grow your business online without having to work more in your business and you can spend more time on it, we created a free training on how to attract, qualify, and convert more leads online. It's 38 minutes. It's going to take a little bit of your time, but it's going to have a huge benefit. It's completely free. Make sure you click below in the description, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on the podcast, everything's there that you need. Go grab the training now. All right. So goes without saying, but to sell more on Shopify, you have to have more traffic. We always tell our clients you should get to about 10,000 people per month, which if you're doing that organically, that could be like Facebook or Instagram or whatever else. But like if you don't get to 10,000, you run into the issue of, hey, it's just a numbers game. And if you had 1,000 people there and you normally get like 10 orders per month, it's like, okay, well, we have a good spot or we have a good starting point. But it really just becomes like a good website, or actually an amazing Shopify site converts at like 5%. Like that's a rock star site, but most are like 2% or 3% or whatever. So if you get 1,000 people and you're only going to get 1%, 2% of those people, it's a smaller number. So we want to get to 10,000. You can do that through like SEO or like search engine optimization, or you can do it through like paid traffic. But without traffic, and especially starting a new site, it's going to be almost impossible for you to hit your sales goals because the other option is like direct messaging somebody on Instagram or whatever else and like doing it one by one, which is possible. But the whole point for a Shopify store and to sell more online is that you do it, kind of quote unquote passively. And there's only two ways to drive traffic: organic or paid. Organic is, we tell our clients, um, go with paid first and then add in the organic later for at least like the e-commerce side. And the only reason for that is because paid will send people there right away. You can get to 10,000 people per month pretty quickly. And then that would help pay for organic, which is going to take, sometimes 3, 6, 9 months before you see results. So um, it's, I guess, just that magical number of 10,000 to become a $10,000 to $20,000 a month Shopify store. And then you can always, expand or scale from that.
Yeah, I think that's a huge misconception that people have where you build a website, any website, not even a Shopify website, but any website, and automatically you're going to get people pouring in
Mm-hmm.
and visiting your website and making purchases and all this. That's
Mm-hmm.
not the case. Like you have to work very hard to
Mm-hmm.
get people to visit your website. And like you said, whether organic or paid obviously being the faster route, but you have to spend more money
Mm-hmm.
versus organic where it just takes a lot more time. Still, you have to spend money and time,
Mm-hmm.
right? To grow those organic avenues. But I would say, yeah, 100% traffic to your website is probably one of the number one ways to sell more, right? On your Shopify store. If you don't have people coming in, you're not going to get sales. Um, Optimization and conversion strategies come later, but number one should be
Just
yeah,
getting people.
focusing on getting people to your store.
Yeah. And well, when I mean, we really recently started or launched a new Shopify store where hopefully they're going to be doing marketing with us, but I think they were under the impression like, okay, let's just get it up and let's just tell people about it. And I think they were going to send some emails or whatever else, which is probably what, most people do is like, hey, I'm going to announce it on Facebook and email. But what you're going to realize is that you're going to send people there and then you either are going to get good data or bad data, or like let's just say you send 100 people there, like you send 100 people, well you may not have sent enough people to actually even get a purchase. So it's just really really hard to scale the business, or you start to question like, is my product good or is anything good? You just don't have enough data. So the traffic source is absolutely like, yeah, if we were to order these in like importance, you should focus on let's get as many people there as possible and then let the Shopify analytics tell you what you need to change.
Yeah, and Shopify Analytics will even tell you more specifics on demographics and
Hmm.
traffic sources and different things like that. Where after that, you can actually determine, okay, where do I want to spend my money on, and where is it more
Hmm.
likely that people are going to convert from. So yeah, those are very very important strategies. And what was I going to say? Um, it's like the I think I've mentioned this before, but nowadays it's more important to build a community
Hmm.
and then sell that product versus you create this product or create this website and then
Hmm.
have to worry about
Finding traffic.
finding traffic, right?
Hmm.
So if you're starting or about to start, your own Shopify store, maybe focus more on building that community.
Hmm.
Um, Create a Facebook group, start talking about different things. Maybe I don't know, go on Reddit, go on Pinterest, and create a following, create a really strong following. And after you don't have to necessarily sell them anything, but when you're ready to, those people are more likely going to be that traffic source for you starting out.
I think that's a good example of like, okay, so you build that community, but to, I would say, like a Facebook group or whatever else is a great spot. But the only thing that we technically own online is our email address. And even then, I would say that like we own it, but we still got to pay for like sending the emails or like pay the monthly subscription. But to this day, the most I think what most people thought was going to be like outdated, archaic, like dinosaur of like marketing is email, but um, it's still the most powerful, and it's going to give you 4 times more return than anything else like Facebook or Instagram or Pinterest or whatever else. Like email is absolutely like one of our clients we didn't do email for a while because they were doing it themselves, and we're like, okay, well just do it yourself, like send emails whenever. We never set up an automation sequence for them. And then we finally started. I mean, this is going on for years, so I don't want to like think about all the money that was missed out. But to give an example, like they just only sent it out. Hey, we're having a fall event. We're having a Super Bowl party. Come see us. It was only for the people who came to the brick and mortar store, not the ones who were online. They never really got emails. So we set up an email sequence like, hey, new customers, people who hadn't shopped in a while, people who did shop but didn't have it shopped, in a couple of weeks, whatever. But anyway, they for every dollar they spent before that, they were making like $5 or $6. This last week, just like real kind of in time, it was for every dollar they spent, they made $10. So they literally with 2 emails through the week, which I would like for them to send more, but 2 emails throughout the week because they've grown their email list and everything like that. I mean, they made like $6,000 just from sending the emails, which before, like I said, they just never did it. So it's a matter of writing an email, sending it, and it was making them a decent amount of money. And it, like I said, it has the highest ROI. It's the only thing that we own. And like I guess the caveat is if you don't do it, you're just missing out on all of the other um, revenue that you could make. But listen,
What did you mean by? Sorry, are you combining um, ads with it? Because you're saying for every dollar spent. Because I mean, with email, you don't necessarily spend money, and you're
right.
talking about you have these audiences already of people who haven't purchased in so long, and da da
Mhm.
da. So
Well, that's through the email, yeah. So, like, through their website, so, like, on Shopify. But, yes, I'm just saying, when the client's working with us, before they sent emails, it was like for every dollar they made $6 in return. We added in emails which connected to their Shopify store, and it said like, "Oh, Joe hadn't purchased in a while. Send him this email sequence that we created." So yeah, we were combining it just with everything that we're doing with them, which is right now is just paid traffic and with email. Yeah, but yeah, that's good clarification. But just adding the email costs them no more. I think they are paying. They have a decent sized email list, so it's probably a couple $100 per month. But $200 to, I mean, on an average month, pull in quite a bit of money. It pays for itself plenty over. Um, but that's only sending, like I said, a couple emails per week. But it's to your point, is like building a community. Well, build that community and then collect the email addresses and build up anticipation and find different ways to, um, interact with them because it's going to be your highest ROI. Like I said, you spend 200, whereas in online advertising, you may have to spend 2,000. Now, you still need that to get new traffic, but to spend $200 on email marketing and then get thousands of dollars in return, it's just it's a no-brainer. So I would tell everybody to sell more in Shopify, you need to be building your email list. And as Christian meant, building a community and build your email list and sending emails.
Our next one here, um, it's also something that we've added. It's like, yeah, I think some of these go in some type of order, where you don't necessarily have to do them all at once.
Yeah, it could be overwhelming.
Yeah, so I think like they build onto each other, and I think that's the strategy that we have done with our clients to some extent. Um, One, to not overwhelm them,
Yeah.
um, but I think it works good that way, um, where you're sort of focusing on that one thing, maybe traffic right now, and not worrying about anything else because everything else will come from that pillar.
Hmm.
And I think that that next one is adding the abandoned cart type pop-ups to stores. And I think for the most part we do this for all of our clients, or at least we recommend that, hey,
Hmm.
you include this somewhere, because it's a very important reminder, especially when you're shopping. And some people even expect it
Hmm.
where you're in the cart, you're looking for some sort of discount code, or
Hmm.
I've done it multiple times where um, I'm in that checkout and I'm like maybe about to exit, or I just leave it open for a while, and maybe they'll send me an email
Hmm.
with some sort of discount code. And that's how some people shop. That people actually do that on purpose, in order to get some sort of discount.
I tried to
Um,
do that, I think, for a wedding, and I left it in my cart like plenty of days in advance, like 3 days. Like, let me test this, and they were just like, yeah, you'll get a deal for your next order." And I was like, "Really?" I still had to purchase it, but I was like, "That's a bad abandoned cart." I mean, they still got me, but I'm not gonna buy from them again now. But just because I didn't need the shirt, but yeah, yeah, that's a good way to kind of get somebody back for sure.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I think doing traffic stores, doing abandoned cart pop-ups, obviously having some sort of email strategy, um, having social proof, website speed, like these all sort of build up onto each other. And we're not saying to, yeah, do them all at once. It's again, what's most important, work on that, move to the next thing, work on that.
Hmm.
And then at some point you're gonna be doing sort of everything you can. So if right now you're listening to this episode and you're like, well, I'm doing all this stuff, then it's maybe time to optimize all these things, right?
Hmm.
If you think about, your email, like with email alone, there's 100 different things that you can do there,
Yeah.
with headlines, with the actual copy, with whatever you can actually put on the email, the frequency.
Hmm.
There's a lot of different things that you can do, with each of these things in order to optimize and make them better, um, as times goes. Because it has to be constant iteration, with all these things, and in order to sell more, and with ads, it's always like always be testing, right?
Hmm.
Um, always be testing new things. The market obviously changes the way people buy. And probably, I don't know, 10, 20 years, we're going to have freaking goggles or contact lenses, and we're going to walk down the street and see ads and offers,
Hmm.
right in our freaking faces. So it's a matter of always being staying on top of things and always testing, all these things.
Yeah, absolutely. And really, I think that from all of this is if you're doing all of these things, or if you're doing even one of these 2 or 3 things well, you are going to sell more from your store. I think that's the whole point from all of this is that, as Christian mentioned, you don't have to do all of it, but these are the key things to making sure that you sell more. Now, this goes without saying that you should probably have a really good product and a proven product that people want first, but the website traffic will be able to help you do that. But
Mhm.
this should help you sell more on your Shopify store. You do those things correctly. I think even at a 50% of them okay, you're still going to end up selling more products, and then you can continue to build from that.
Yep. Exactly.
All right, guys, thanks so much for listening to another episode of the Marketing Natives. Hope you thought that this was an amazing episode on how to sell more on your Shopify store. If you're interested in learning more about how to sell more on your Shopify store and you want somebody else to take it away from you, there's going to be a link in this description, either on YouTube or the podcast. Click that and schedule a free strategy session. If you've been listening for a while, please make sure to go over and leave us an honest rating and review over on Apple Podcasts. It helps us reach more people online. And if you are a first-time listener, whether you're on YouTube, podcast, whatever podcast platform you're on, or Facebook, please make sure that you either like the page, subscribe, or subscribe, whether it's on the podcast or YouTube. We put out content every single week, and the Marketing Natives comes out every single Monday. So hope you guys got a lot out of this. If you did, please screenshot it and tag us over on Instagram, and we'll send you something definitely worth value to you. All right, see you guys.
The Marketing Natives podcast is a production of BitBranding.